just yesterday on OMF of WEEI Radio, which is up there in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
OMF at Boston Connor is a show that you have heard of before?
OMF, no, but WEEI, yes.
Okay, so OMF came into the conversation yesterday on social media because a quote from Bill Belichick came out of it, their conversation, that was just absolutely glorious. And it isn't until you actually listen to it that you truly respect it. Evan Fox, please run that audio, please, sir.
So, it was an honest answer to an honest question. That's no more, no less than that. But I'm sure you can read a lot into it if you want to. That wasn't the intent.
But it just is. I know you've done this in the off season and you've looked at it in the off season, but doing it in the middle of a season here when you're still playing games, is there a purpose for actually explaining it to everybody right now?
Is there? He just answered that email he just got.
Seems pretty obvious to me. What's the question?
Well, I will say that what it sounds like is like a lot of excuses, like COVID excuses,
awesome.
things that you haven't ever said before.
No, it's not. I didn't say it was an excuse. I never said that.
No, I didn't say you did.
Well, then don't
fucking say it.
Right. I mean, look, we paid Cam Newton $1 million. I mean, it's obvious we didn't have any money. It's nobody's fault. That's what we did the last 5 years. We sold out and won 3 Super Bowls, played in the 4th, and played in an AFC Championship game.
Boom!
What's up?
This year we had less to work with.
I mean, what he just rammed off, and I wanted to show the video and have the entire thing because shout out to whoever that was. I don't know if that was O-M or F of OMF, but him saying, it sure sounds like those are excuses is awesome. Like that is such a difficult question to probably ask. I would assume that while he was asking it, other people in the room were looking at him like, are you really asking Bill Belichick that? But what he got in return was maybe a little bit of an irritated Bill Belichick that showed a side that I thank God that Bill Belichick has. Because if Bill Belichick was this guy who was always like, we're on to Cincinnati, we got to work. And then you hear all these Tom Brady quotes about nothing I've done in the past matters. It only matters about. You would assume that those quotes are the standard in New England. It's like nobody cares what you've done in the past. What do you do today? And that's always been the conversation around Bill Belichick is that he somehow always is motivated. He somehow always is out thinking, and he never really rests on his yawn or his laurels. You know what I mean? He never does that. Now we get a chance to hear him be like, yeah, like, hey, motherfuckers, like, last 5 years we won 3 Super Bowls, won to another one, went to an AFC Championship. Did anybody not know what was going to, like, you need to stop questioning everything that you guys are questioning. And that leads me to believe that Bill Belichick, whenever he's speaking to other people in the football world, they laugh at how terrible other football. Like, I think Bill Belichick is an absolute savage. And I love that. Like, not only have I always appreciated and respected the way he coaches and the way he's been able to do something over 20 years that is just unprecedented and probably never happen again in the NFL because the parity in the NFL is just the standard of the league and why the league is so great. Bouncing back 9 Super Bowls in 20 years, 6 wins. In the last 5 years, 3 Super Bowls, going to a 4th. The fact that he knows that, like, makes me love him even more. Like, the fact that he probably has conversations where he's like, yeah, I'm the greatest coach of all time. Yeah, if I want to sell Subway sandwiches, I'll fucking do it. I will. Like, if I want to do this, I'll do it. If I want to wear this ripped-off sweater, I will do it. Like, it doesn't matter. You want to ask me a question? I don't have to answer. You know why? Greatest coach of all time.
What's
like
up?
that, I feel like that is now in Belichick, and I love that guy asked a great question, kind of prodded him a little bit, and got it out there. And I would like to let Bill Belichick know, like, hey, all warranted, bud. You just keep it going and do whatever you need to do. You should be celebrating and dancing on graves of the people in the NFL for the last 20 years.
A couple of executives and coaches, I guess, around the league. Our guy Dov Kleiman reported reacting to Belichick's comments on the salary.
All right, let's hear it. Former head coach. I saw that and I thought, why is it out there? Bill never would put anything like that out there, and all of a sudden it's out there. Something is weird. The executive said about Bill Belichick talking the way he talked yesterday. I've always wondered if they just decided to tank this year, especially once they had all the opt-outs. A veteran coach, who could that be? Who knows? Andy Reid, maybe? Yeah. Bill is saving up for next year and blowing smoke and hoping people believe him. Crying poor, whatever. There's nothing to it. He knows it. They got stuck when Brady called their bluff and left. They didn't improve the team, and Brady said he's out. out, going to get some sunshine, bring his boy Gronk out to Tampa, have some drinks with the head coach, and have some fun and call it a career. Wow, okay.
That's Rex Ryan.
Another executive goes, it seemed very un-Belichickian to say what he said. You're the coach and the GM. You have made all these decisions unless there is a veiled message which could make you think about what they've spent. It's not a cap issue. They have been tight against the cap and moving money around, but lots of people have had the ability to do that and go through it. Wow, so not a lot of people. Another executive says, Belichick has really run it tight economically, whether it's been players or staff or coaches, and I think that has probably finally caught up to them. The cap is an excuse. The cap to me is hiding really that they haven't spent cash. And it's not just players. I wonder to some degree whether they've had a little bit of a brain drain. Everybody focuses on the coaches who have left not being successful, but Titans GM John Robinson, Bucks GM Jason Light, and all these other guys have also left. Another executive says, tell me the last Pro Bowl player they drafted in what year? Oh, wow. Okay, so the NFL talking about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick yesterday said after the F of OMF, Christian Falgor, F-A-L-G.
Faria.
Yeah.
There it is, Faria. Ugh, I was spelling the wrong name. Anyways, he asked him a question that kind of said, like, it sounds like you're making excuses, Bill. And Bill got agitated and gave a response like, it's not excuses. I mean, look, we paid Cam Newton $1 million. It's obvious that we didn't have any money. It's nobody's fault. That's what we did the last 5 years. We sold out. We won 3 Super Bowls, played in the 4th, and played in the AFC Championship game. So basically, Bill Belichick flexed on everybody. And now you're hearing executives and coaches allegedly from around the league going like, oh, shut the fuck up, Bill. That's basically what they're saying. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, does he mention the opt-outs? I feel like the opt-outs are one of the biggest reasons why they're struggling too. Like, not only do you have cap issues and Tom Brady is gone and all of that, but you had a lot of stud players opt out right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, a lot of studs, by the way. And they have the most cap space in the league, I think, next year. So I think that's why a lot of people are like, oh, Bill, okay. 1 year. What's that?
Why do you think he is... What made him all of a sudden step out of his box and decide to like get angry enough to actually let people know?
I think that was the first time in a long time where he's potentially had a verbal confrontation with somebody and he wanted to alpha the guy. I think that's what happened. I think that question from
Boria played for him.
Yeah, and I love it. Like, I love that he had the opportunity to get him, because I think that question, by the way, can we run that question? Get right to the part where he asked the question and says the excuses thing. This question, as soon as the way he phrased it and how he asked it, I don't think I've ever seen Bill Belichick face a question like that. Like, I don't think ever. No. He'll get questions about what they need to get better at, and he'll go first down, second down, third down, fourth down. But never has somebody like actually gave like a, hey, Belichick, it sounds like you're up to some bullshit right now. Go ahead and play that, Foxy.
Is like a lot of excuses, like COVID excuses, things that you haven't ever said before.
No, it's not. I didn't say it was an excuse. I never said that.
No, I didn't say you did.
Well, kind of though. So like that is, I think, such a good question to kind of get him going. Maybe that's what people got to do, is just kind of like talk shit to him a little bit, so then he comes over the top with like excuse me, the last 20 years we're the best fucking team of all time. Like, that is, I'm happy that he's realizing that and speaking it into existence like that.
I'm hoping this is the new Belichick. Like, we saw Tom Brady go on Howard Stern and be so open, and he's relatable now. Like, is that what Bill Belichick is going to be in the twilight of his career?
Hey, good work getting to that part, by the way. Back there being serious. That had to be pretty difficult, not being able to listen to it and just kind of send it around. I do that on like my videos on my phone when I'm editing it, and I can't get to anything. Connor, what's up?
Well, and Belichick did all those Subway commercials and stuff. Like, there's been a lot of differences in Bill Belichick this year than there have been in previous years.
He's more open. I hope he continues to do it. What were you going to say, AJ?
I have a question. What if we all say that, oh, Tommy Foxborough, they're holding him down. What if big Tom Brady was holding Bill Belichick back, and Bill wanted to let this personality out? Tom's like, hey, Bill, come on now. That's not the Patriot way.
I thought about this last night while watching the game a little bit, and how Tom was like pissed off, obviously. Still, he was like smashing his helmet or whatever. At 43 after winning 6 Super Bowls or whatever he is. I mean, it was awesome to see that uber competitive drive. But what if it was Tom that was so like, hey, this is how it needs to be.
The Brady way.
This is how we need. What if the Patriot way was the Brady way, which, by the way, could mean that this is great news for the Buccaneers, because guess what? It worked for a long time. But what if Tom was the one? What if Tom and Bill were trying to out-compete and out-serious each other and finally getting away from each other? It's like, okay, thank God, Jesus Christ, we can actually be humans again. That is very interesting to think. What if Tom was the driver behind the whole Patriot way of like being dialed in every single moment of your life? This is what we do, football, nothing else.
Yeah, I like how you said out serious each other. Like that's true. Like, okay, no, I can take I can take football more serious than this guy. I can give worse answers to the media more consistently than this guy too.
What time's that guy get in the building? 5:15. I'm here at 5 a.m. 4:45, 4:30, 4:15, 4. Can we go 3:45? That is what it is, and you hear that sometimes in players-only meetings. By the way, a lot of guys will out serious each other, out how hard they work, out how hard obviously their neighborhood they came from. That is kind of what those player-led meetings are normally like. If they're, I guess there's some that are good, right? We've had conversations about some of them that can end up being good, but a lot of those things it's normally like, who cares about this football team and has come longer than the other person? It's like, and I once wanted to say that's always, and that's when it comes into it. It's always like, all right, here we go. Let's go ahead and rock it in for the show. Hopefully we won't suck next week.